So what kind of meditation did Edgar Cayce talk about the most?
Well, initially, as you know, Edgar Cayce was considered a Christian mystic, and so he used a lot of the mystical Christian concepts that came out of pre-Christian times of Gnosticism and even Kabbalism in the Jewish movement. And, of course, Jesus, being a Jew, came from that background. Mm-hmm. And then he lifted it more beyond religious inspirational concepts into actually unique physical shifts in your body, in your breathing rate, then in your mind. And he actually wanted you to use the imaginative forces, he called them, to lift you even beyond physical reality up into non-physical, spiritual, energetic dimensions. So there are many ways he taught meditation. He had a very simple one called the magic silence. He had a more complicated one that used the 7 chakras and the Lord's Prayer. And then he had a very elaborate one that actually was nicknamed Passage in Consciousness, which moved you through dimensions of consciousness into higher levels.
So it doesn't sound like there's one way to meditate. And I'm wondering why that is. Could it be because different people have different physiologies or attention spans or...
Exactly, Nina. You hit the answer right on the button. Every individual has a unique bodily chemistry and electrical pattern, a unique soul history prior to this life even of experience with deeper practices, a unique dynamic in their genetic and social and psychological structure. So there are as many ways to meditate as there are meditators. Each is unique. Now, of course, throughout human history, humans have discovered fundamental techniques that work for everybody, but you have to allow for the nuance of each individual's body, mind, and soul.
Mm-hmm. Now, you had mentioned imaginative forces. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, that's interesting. Most of us would think, oh, gosh, we're going to use the imagination, and this isn't really real, Mm-hmm. And Edgar said, no, if you want to move from the 3rd dimension, from the realm of matter, muscle and bone, you have to use the imaginative forces to break out of the 3 dimensions and move into 4th, 5th, and higher dimensions, move out of form and matter into formlessness and energetics. You're going to have to use some of your imagination because your mind is totally shaped around the reality we've been sojourning in for so long. Mm-hmm. So to Edgar Cayce, in order to get into higher levels, you had to use some of your imagination. And he said, imagine the higher realms. Imagine the nature of the infinite creator of the whole universe. Imagine the energies. Imagine the massive universal consciousness of that essence, And if you can imagine it, you can start to move toward that, and it becomes a conscious awareness after a while, and you're not imagining anymore, you're actually in it. Mm-hmm. It took the imagination to bridge you over from physical reality to non-physical.
That's amazing, actually. And because, too, the other thing that I think that people can be concerned about is that they will often interchange the words imagination and visualization. And so, if they don't have the ability, if they don't have a visual sense, is that an inhibitor for them?
No, in fact, Edgar talked about the different types of meditators, the visual, the kinetic or energetic ones who feel energy moving through them, and then the mental or psyche-oriented meditators who comprehend things, who have suddenly an understanding that comes to them. No imagery, not necessarily any feeling of energy, movement, but an understanding comes upon them. They grasp something completely. So there are 3 main aspects of how humans are going to experience. Of course, the more you practice, you're going to have all three. Energy movement, you're going to sense it. A sense of comprehension of something, a knowing that just comes from nowhere. And then the true visualization, an image or so.
Hi there, my name is Nina Wallinder, and I wanted to talk to you about Layers of Health. Layers of Health is a free online community dedicated to investigating holistic and alternative health options. These options can include physical health, mental and emotional health, business health, as well as your spiritual health. So you can join me as I discuss your health concerns with various experts, mentors, and leaders in their fields. And these interviews are offered for free live, as well as during special encore presentations. But if you find one that is particularly interesting to you, you can also purchase it. So you can join me at www.layersofhealth.com, and I'll see you on the calls.